Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Reverend Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Push Global Automotive Summit recently wrapped up here in Detroit. Each year that conference reveals its automotive diversity scorecard. Ford Motor Company, General Motors, and Toyota had the highest rankings in 2018 for their commitment to diversity. There was also a surprise announcement at the summit regarding a new partnership between Rainbow Push and Wayne County Community College District. The nonprofit is teaming up with the college to create a hub for the mobility workforce right here in Metro Detroit.
We are very acutely concerned about training for the new automotive industry, the driverless vehicles, the new technology. Rainbow Push is forming a relationship with the Wayne County Community College on training a generation, the next generation, for the driverless cars. They'll be studying at Wayne College, at Wayne Community College, they'll be studying robotics, apps and codes and the whole range of electrification and the like. I really want Chairman John Gray to describe in a little more detail what this partnership means. When we work out the details, we hope to open it up within the next month or so. We must train. We cannot wait to bring folk in from the south, from the cotton fields, to be on the assembly line this time. This is another day. It must happen another way. It must happen quickly. John?
Yes. Thank you, Reverend. And just to be clear, it was the vision of Reverend Jesse Jackson to form this collaborative partnership with WCCD, which is Wayne County Community College District. They have 70,000 students on 7 campuses, and what we were providing, it was certification for their students to go through a program where they would be certified to work in the autonomous industry. Ford Motor Company is building actually they bought the train station. They're converting it into their autonomous headquarters, spending $740 million, and we will be 5 minutes away from them. But unless our workforce is retrained, they will not be in a position for the jobs of the future.
Joining me now is the Chancellor of Wayne County Community College District, Dr. Curtis Ivery. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Steve. It's certainly a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah, it's great to see you. This is a big deal. This is a big announcement. When people think about, I think, the mobility economy and getting people ready for it, they tend to think of the traditional 4-year universities and people getting bachelor's degrees and things like that. I don't think it automatically leaps into their minds that so much of this is about retraining and entry-level opportunities for young people, which is right in your sweet spot.
Absolutely, and everything is about now. For a while, we've been talking about the kind of training necessary for the future, and we've talked about the fact that about 60% of the jobs or more would require some form of education beyond high school. Now we know for sure that at 85% of the jobs will require some form of technical training, understanding the technology. Mm-hmm. And so we've moved into that space suddenly and somewhat quietly, and the future is now. Yeah. And so we've got to get it done.
So 70,000 students on 7 campuses. Right. Talk about the kinds of opportunities this partnership will give for those students.
Well, let me say first of all that when we talk about 70,000, we're talking about that number of students annually, and we're talking about credit and non-credit. Mm-hmm. And so much now in the community college, it is a sweet spot for community colleges, let me say that, because community colleges are uniquely positioned and poised to provide non-traditional and sometimes traditional training. Yeah. And so we can be responsive to the extent other institutions can't be. So community colleges are uniquely prepared to do so. But in terms of the training that's necessary, the technology that we are going to be in a position to provide, we're just we're in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. We're talking about smart campuses, and we talk about our campuses. We're talking about on one campus we have about 97 acres of land prepared that we could use for smart campuses. So to create simulation or simulated tracks for the kind of training that's going to be necessary.
Rainbow Push is an organization that I think people are familiar with, mostly for civil rights work. Talk about their role here.
Well, they continue to be a very forceful social justice institution, and they've had a long, very positive relationship with the automotive industry. And we, as a region, we're in the epicenter in terms of the automotive workforce, and we represent a huge talent pool within this region. So it's about access, training, and then some level of certification.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of Rainbow Push and Reverend Jackson, it's really about diversity equals appropriate access. And we represent a tremendous opportunity in terms of providing the talent for those jobs that are going to be out there in the future.
Yeah. Talk about the students that that you're seeing now and how they might be different from the students who might have been in school 30 years ago when I was going to college. I mean, as the economy changes, the needs and the pressures on community colleges have changed in terms of meeting those needs.
Absolutely, and I love answering that question because a lot of the perception is that we're still serving students directly out of high school, and nothing could be further from the truth. A lot of the students, I mean, the average age a few years ago was around 28. Now that average age has gone up tremendously, and a lot of it's retraining. People coming out of the workforce, who've been in the workforce for many, many years. And so, and then you also have reverse transfer students who've moved to university, now coming back to the community college for training. So suddenly we're seeing a different population, and it's certainly an older population for the first time.
Also talk about Wayne County Community College District and how that's a little different from Macomb or Oakland. You are in a unique demographic space as well.
And I think that states it extremely well. It's a unique demographic space. So we serve a constituency unlike any other community college. We have a legitimate urban and suburban population mix, which is really it's a positive. I mean, there's a lot of energy that comes out of that, but we have to be willing to talk to the employers. We have to be willing to talk to the people, the representatives of the community that will tell us what kind of jobs, what the market's going to be like, what the jobs are going to be, and the student population. We have students that represent more than 60, 70 different countries.
Wow.
It's one of the most diverse. It's almost like the United Nations if you ever have a chance to visit one of the campuses.
Yeah.
Tremendously diverse. Probably the most diverse in the country. We graduate more minorities than any other institution in the country, minority students, and that's tremendously exciting.
Yeah. This convergence also with the automotive industry, they're changing into a mobility industry. Bill Ford will say we need to be a mobility company, not an automotive company. Is it that fundamental a change as well for community colleges, this shift in our economy?
Yes and no. We saw it coming. We knew that we would have to, for example, cyber technology. We implemented that program about 2 years ago. And that's a program that we'll always have a waiting list for. We have an array of computer information technology classes or clusters. Those classes are always full. So the technology and the need for that kind of training has always been there.
You're sort of out front, maybe, of the economic
Probably
trend.
not knowing, because I don't think any of us had a clue about what autonomous vehicles would be about.
Right.
We heard about it, we read about it, but suddenly, sure, we know that the technology, we're talking about a level 4 level 3 technology, that's in place now.
Yeah.
So and for this thing to really take off, the engineers are saying that they have to be at a level 4 technology, and that's just around the corner.
Yeah. Big news this week at the polls for Wayne County Community College District as well. That support is critical as well to the number of people you have and the stuff that you guys need to do.
I cannot tell you how large that on November the 6th was for our institution. We won by the largest margin ever. Our voters affirmed, our supporters affirmed their belief in us, that we've been moving in the right direction. We're going to continue to do so. Mm-hmm. We're so proud of our faculty and our staff and our supporters. You know, we're talking about earlier. People in this region support education unlike any other region I've ever experienced. And we're the benefactors of that support.
Yeah, yeah. We've got about 30 seconds left. You are the author of 13 books, something I am extremely envious of, for starters. But you're working on another one, right?
Yeah, well, just completed a book, yeah. And it's I have an interest in how do we encourage our young people to read, mm-hmm. because I believe that reading is one of the fundamental winners. And if we can get young people to buy into the notion of reading, that's huge. But let me say, I don't want to take credit too much for the books. I have to credit my daughter, who's really the writer, and my son, who's also authored with me. But I mean, we're a family of writers, and so we're always working on projects. So I want to take credit for the 13 books, but I probably should share that credit with my daughter and son.
Yeah, that's very cool, though. All right, so great to have you here,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much, Yvette.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.